Greetings, loyal viewers, and welcome back. For this reaction video, I'm going to be taking a look at the latest video from a channel I've been watching for some time now. Technically, this is a new one, a new channel from a guy who had to, for the most part, leave behind his old channel because of it being fully demonetized by YouTube. The YouTube channel in question in this case is Suspect Green, but you may know him originally as The Unusual Suspect. Like I said, he had to move to this channel after his previous one got completely demonetized, with no way of being able to fix that. So for today, we're going to be taking a look at the video he uploaded last month. That being, as you can kind of see on the screen here, can I sell you a 0% Rotten Tomatoes film? Well, given how deceptive trailers can still be, especially when done right, I'd say, yeah, probably. It just depends on the movie in question, and how well you manage to edit said trailer, which I think there's a point where he actually does show us the trailer that he made for it, whatever that movie is. I can't say for sure. I do know on his old channel he actually did make the occasional fan-made trailer for films a lot of us know about, and I think, shot in the dark, I'm gonna go ahead and assume he actually talks about a few of those in this video. So without further ado, let's get it on.
Can I sell you a 0% movie? In other words, can I take
Probably.
a film literally every critic says is bad?
I love how he intentionally blurs out the image for the movies as to surprise us.
Into thinking it's good? Well...
You know, it's a shame that I was not subscribed to his channel by this point, or that I had been doing reaction videos at the time that he made this, or was working on it.
Still, to this day, it's the premier way to hype up your movie. Quick cut some action, bet it onto an epic movie score, maybe add some Inception-style bongs.
Boom! But yeah, what's the quality of this set at? That's 720p? Why is it not at 1080p? That's a little better. But yeah, I've definitely seen my fair share of movie trailers in the past. Some of my favorite ones are ones for the MonsterVerse movies. Like, regardless of how you feel about the movies themselves, you can't deny they have some really damn good trailers. I still watch those sometimes, even if I've already seen the movies a number of times, because they're just that well made, and they definitely help to, especially as a kaiju fan and especially as a Godzilla fan, they really helped build up the hype for those movies for me. So, anyway.
And if you play your cards right, it'll get butts in seats at the theater so those bigwig Hollywood producers can make a lot of money.
How did I fucking call that?
Expectations of a film. I myself did just that with a bunch of fan-made trailers.
Called it. Called it.
Made back in the day. Such as making Star Wars look like a fun action comedy.
Which, you know, would definitely be a step up for both Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, that's for damn sure.
Or there was that time I turned a Pixar film into a supernatural horror flick.
Oh my god, I actually have seen that before. I wonder what part... I'm just gonna go ahead and assume he's gonna play the really intense part near the end of it. Yeah, oh my god. That is some intense shit right there.
Subscribers saying that they just shat themselves. So
I don't blame them.
You can make a comedic movie look serious, a serious movie look comedic, but there are certain trailer houses out there that can pull off something even more impressive. They can make shit look like gold. Like, does anyone remember the trailer for Fantastic?
Yep, I unfortunately do. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not because it's a bad trailer. On the contrary, I actually think it's a very well done trailer for what is easily one of, if not the worst superhero movie ever made.
I mean, they were able to turn the dullest, most forgettable superhero movie ever made and make it look brooding and mysterious.
There is risk.
That's what good deceptive marketing can do for your movie if you do it correctly.
Whoever put this trailer together, you are an evil genius. And
Yeah.
so, because of trailers like this, it inspired me to give this a go myself and create modern-style movie trailers for films like Batman and Robin, Battlefield Earth, and The Room, to try and make them look like the cinematic masterpieces their directors could only dream of.
Stopping there for just a second. You know, actually, seeing these, it's kind of inspiring me to make fan-made trailers for TV shows. Most of which are shows I've seen and absolutely adore. Like, I'm thinking about doing a promotional fan-made trailer for like season 3 of Owl House to make it seem like the perfect kind of trailer to build up hype for the final season, more so than Disney ever fucking did. Like, I don't know if any of you have seen some of the promotional material for season 3 of Owl House, but while there was while there was that one that played right before the final episode, or the final special, I should say, most of the ones that were made for the final season were not that great, in my opinion. And they could have been better in order to build up hype and all that.
We don't take back our planet, the last of humanity becomes extinct.
And according to the comment section, I seem to have done a decent job, with many of you
Yeah,
guys
I
saying that
agree.
all of a sudden these films look incredible.
Yeah.
However, my subscribers have one fatal flaw.
And what's that?
You're too bloody nice.
Oh, come
I mean,
on,
look,
man.
Everyone knows these films are stinkers. So these people saying that I did a good job, it's lovely of you to say so, but there is a bias there. So it got me thinking, what if I did another one of these trailers for another bad movie, but a bad movie that nobody has heard of? If I then presented that trailer to my own subscribers,
That would explain why
could
he
I
blurred out that image
legitimately fool
earlier.
them into wanting to watch crap? You know, aside from my own videos, of course. I don't know the answer to this, so here's what I did. I first of all had to choose a movie. It had to be a film that was recognized by the
Mr.
critics,
Bean.
but it couldn't be well known. I was considering doing this with Ballistic X vs. Sever, which is an
I've
action
heard of
spy
that
flick
movie.
from
Never
2000,
seen it,
which has the record
and I
for being
don't
the most
want
reviewed
to,
flick on Rotten
but I
Tomatoes
have heard
with
of
a
it.
0% rating. But it's too well known. Chris Duckman's talked about it, Cinema Snobs talked about it, I've talked about it. That's not going to work.
Yeah,
So I
good
went down
call.
a list of other 0% movies. Left Behind, Baby Geniuses 2, The Ridiculous 6. Too well known.
I want to know who are the 36% in the audience that actually liked The Ridiculous Six. I want to know how they can at least. I want to know how they could even ironically like the movie, because that was a really, really bad movie. Then again, when it comes to most Adam Sandler films, that's kind of preaching to the choir.
I needed something more obscure. But I also didn't want to choose a film that only had like 5 reviews. It had to have a semi-decent amount of critics who've seen it, but it also had to have flown under the radar. It was a tough balancing act. So I went further down the list, and I finally found something that could work. A movie which had over 30 different critics watch it, and every single one left unimpressed.
What's
the
it?
film in question? Stratton.
You know, funnily enough, I think I actually saw a DVD copy of that at my local library. I looked at the critic reception for it on Rotten Tomatoes, which is, I feel like that's something I should probably take with a bit of a grain of salt, because there are plenty of movies I've seen throughout my life that I and plenty of people have enjoyed that a surprising number of critics did not like very much. One of the ones that baffles me the most is Bullet Train. While the overall critical reception for the film wasn't terrible, how is that film, last I checked, barely at around 50%? Like, that is, like, yeah, the film is kind of dumb sometimes, but it is one of the most fun movies I've ever seen in a while. And for a film that clocks in, I think, at just around 2 hours, it did not feel like 2 hours. It was. I mentioned this in my quick little status update review for it a while back, but it's a film whose pacing is just as brisk as its titular setting. It's that good. But yeah, Stratton. Like I said, I think I remember seeing a DVD copy of it at my library. Saw the reviews for it, and I'm like, oh boy, this one can't be good. So I avoided that one. And I've seen some shit. Okay. Fun story. A few years ago, when I was going on a huge movie watching binge, checking out movies from that aforementioned library left and right to see movies I haven't seen yet. At one point, I actually sat down and watched Delgo and the Emoji Movie back to back, and that was a mistake because both are really bad, really bad. I'm still not convinced that my brain hasn't fully recovered from doing that. I really felt like I should have made an exception there and actually drank a little bit of alcohol before going into the Emoji Movie, because I watched the Emoji Movie after Delgo, in case you're wondering. But yeah, needless to say, I've seen shit. So while I definitely know about. I don't know what's wrong with me. While I certainly have no doubt that Stratton is really bad, it can't be any worse than them.
And the fact that you're drawing a blank right now is precisely why I chose this flick. Stratton came out in 2017 and is based on a series of
same year as the Emoji Movie.
Special Boat Service Commando. Like Ballistic, it's another action spy flick. And at first glance, it's got a lot going for it. It stars Howard Stark himself, Dominic Cooper as the lead, alongside other well-known actors like Gemma Chan of Eternals fame, Connie Nielsen of Gladiator fame, and
hey, it's freaking Tom Felton. And yes, like a lot of young millennials, I was first introduced to Tom Felton through the Harry Potter films. A film series, or indeed a series in general, that I can no longer really enjoy thanks to the creator, who's still benefiting from the financial success of it. Screw J.K. Rowling is what I'm saying. But Tom Felton, yeah, I've seen him in interviews. He seems like a genuinely nice, down-to-earth fellow. And over the years has become a really solid actor in his own right. Nothing spectacular, I would say, but fairly solid.
Draco Malfoy himself, Tom Felton, is in this. Saints.
Potter. Was that really necessary?
Known for flicks like Con Air, Tomb Raider, and, believe it or not, he directed this. And that was not a Rick roll, I swear. The director of Con Air also happened to direct Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick.
The more you know, huh? The more you know.
Astley. Who'd have thunk? But yeah, West's career clearly went south. As one moment he's directing an action classic a lot of people liked,
which I unfortunately have not seen
nobody
yet.
Liked. And after watching the film myself,
I've heard a lot about Con Air, but I haven't seen it.
Stratton is the most generic, dull, forgettable as hell flick. The story about a terrorist in possession of a bioweapon is as formulaic as they come. The dialogue is bereft of charm, the action is horrifically edited, and the actors have about as much chemistry as the film's Rotten Tomatoes score. Which is especially bad here, cause, well, you know how some actors end up dating in real life? Like Tom Holland and Zendaya, for example.
Yeah, I know about that.
Well, that natural chemistry naturally translates to their on-screen romance.
I agree.
Here's the thing. Dominic Cooper and Gemma Chan are dating in real life too, and their characters have a will they, won't they thing going on. So that must mean their chemistry is electric, right?
You try a different frame?
You're not quicker without you breathing down my neck.
Doesn't seem like it.
Apparently not. I mean, it's bad. But it's not their fault. They're fine actors. But the vast majority of their dialogue is just expository, so they've got nothing to work with. Now, the film is kind of interesting to talk about, actually. Because Simon West was intending on turning the character of John Stratton into the third iconic movie spy. James Bond, Jason Bourne, John Stratton. That was the hook. Why did their names all begin with a J?
Yeah, that was definitely one of my first questions, but also, yeah, in this day and age, trying to make a new iconic action star, I think the closest, and while this character is definitely someone I would call an action star, it's not in the same way as those characters he mentioned. I was thinking of John Wick. He's a former hitman in the series who unfortunately ends up getting pulled back into that life and all that shit. I don't want to go into any spoilers for those who haven't seen the John Wick films, including my older brother, who I still need to get around to having watched those films at some point, because I love the John Wick films. My mom loves the John Wick films. I got to get my brother into that shit.
So yeah, it's a take on the Bond formula, and when production on this film began, things initially looked promising, as originally, Stratton was not played by Dominic Cooper. He was going to be played by Henry Cavill. Yeah, this
really?
film almost became Cavill's essential audition for James Bond. And I emphasize the almost there. Cavill really was all set to star in this, but dropped out of the project just 5 days before
5 days before principal photography began. Are you out of your mind, dude?
principal photography
What?
commenced. 5 days. You left that a bit late, man.
Yeah,
Benny made some enemies that day.
Oh, yeah.
He dropped out of the film due to creative differences. He seems to do that a lot. Perhaps he should do it even more. Okay, look, the TLDR of it is this.
Shots fired!
Shit. So, onto my trailer. And my best bet with it is to play on the film's strengths. What little there are. The major strength is the action, which I know I said was horribly edited, but if you look at the behind the scenes,
yeah, I could sort of tell just by
really
watching
what they've done.
that they
There's
horribly
a massive
edited it.
Practical stunt work here. Like this shot where they crashed a van into this bar, which stops frighteningly short of real actors. And they did this by tethering a strop to a forklift.
That's
to make sure the van stopped
actually
on its
kind of
mark.
impressive.
It's an impressive stunt, but it's mired by the editing. Look, here's the raw footage of the stunt.
I would pee my pants a little bit.
But now look at what they did to it in the final release. How many cuts do you want?
I don't make that many cuts during my AMVs most of the time. The only times I do that is maybe during the beginning portions of my AMVs and sometimes towards the end. But even so, I don't make that many cuts when doing AMVs. Like, that is just ridiculous.
Yes. Okay. If we're selective with what shots we use in the trailer, we can help mask their addiction to cutting every bloody millisecond. Something else we can help mask is the sound design, which is not something you usually think about with a film, because it's one of those if done well you don't notice it kind of things.
Yeah,
But in
that is
Stratton,
true.
well, let's just say you notice it.
Care to give us an
listen to this
example?
sound Gemma Chan makes when she falls out this bus. I swear I did nothing with that footage.
What? What did she say? Oh my god, how do you make that mistake in editing? Like, oh my god, that is just...
No one in the editing booth thought, I don't know, maybe we should not have a go.
God damn it.
And it's made worse because this is directly in the middle of the film's most impressive stunt. Yeah, this whole scene is a high-speed chase with a double-decker bus. And much
Yeah,
like the
that
van
is
stunt
actually
from
kind of
earlier,
a cool
they
setup.
crash it for real and even flip it this time.
Oh my god.
I mean, that's impressive. But cue a shitload of cuts while Gemma Chan casually falls through reinforced glass while doing her best poodle impression. I mean, they pulled this off in
Oh
one
my
take.
god.
Why not just use the one take?
I'm not a
Look,
masterclass
Stratton came out in
editor or
2017,
anything, but
which I know
that
it's
is
a
just
while ago,
embarrassing.
But weren't we past that shaky cam quick cut phase by then? This
Yeah.
was a whole 2 years after Daredevil gave us that one-take hallway shot. Audiences were well past the days of asking for Paul Greengrass to give them an aneurysm.
Yeah, also, I know this film came out after the fact, but one of my other favorite one-shot scenes in an action movie was actually in John Wick Chapter 4. It's during the final act of the movie when John is trying to get to the meeting place so that he could have his final standoff with the main antagonist. Again, I don't want to give too much away, but there's an action scene that happens during which he goes through a building. It then transitions to a top-down view, almost like you're looking at some kind of like top-down shooter or something. And they do it all in one take. That was fucking impressive. Like, goddamn, I love the John Wick movie so much.
They now actually wanted to see the action. And yet this film was clearly edited by someone high on crack. I just can't get over how you did so much of this film practical.
I mean, how
Shot
else?
yourselves in
I
the
mean,
foot
why
in
else
the
would they
editing booth.
make these kinds of
What a
mistakes?
waste. But luckily for us, a movie trailer doesn't require too much in the way of shot continuity.
Uh-huh.
So all this editing, we can effectively mask and pull
Yeah.
the bus flit off in 2 shots, as opposed to... Well, I lose count. Well, there can't just be action. There has to be some character injected into the trailer.
And let me guess, there's none.
There's next to nothing to work with here. I mean, these characters are all a team. They work together to defeat the bad guys. But there's no camaraderie. In fact, they seem to just hate each other.
I can handle myself.
I don't give a shit about that.
He wasn't responsible for Marty's death, if that's what you're implying.
I didn't think I was implying anything.
You're under my command until further
Look.
notice.
Stand by. We'll need to get authorization.
Negative. No time. Just do it.
And what criminally little banter there is in the film is...
You've seen the satellite photos. Never less than 6 seen on site in the last 10 days.
No one.
Or they're very, very small.
Somebody got
What?
paid to write that. I mean, this is
Yeah.
Howard Stark and Superman teaming up. How do you fuck that up?
Yeah,
Oh, not to
exactly.
mention that, I don't even think they're good guys.
Uh-huh.
Like, take this scene where they tie this guy up
What?
as they need information from him. He's not being cooperative.
Well, of
So
course he wouldn't
They
be.
decide to do this.
What?
An associate of mine is taking this. He's a US Navy
Wait.
SEAL sniper. I think we'll start with him.
No,
First target.
Is that...
no,
Roger that.
no, please, please, not my boy, please.
Our heroes, ladies and gentlemen.
What the fuck, man? That's... These are meant to be our protagonists, or the people we're supposed to, at least in this case, root for, right? Like, why are we having them threaten someone by threatening to shoot their son? Like, that's kind of fucked up.
Gentlemen, and you know what? It gets worse. Because the guy
Why?
does relent. He does give them the information they need. But then...
What? What? Oh my god, even... That is just reprehensible. Like, how do MI6 agents get away with that shit?
They just kill him. They just outright murdered a man in cold blood that they knew had a son.
Exactly,
Look,
that's
if you wanna
fucked up.
portray morally comprehensible characters, that's fine. But nothing else in this movie alludes to these characters being that in-depth. It's so out of left field. It's horrible. So in order to inject some personality and a moral compass while I'm at it, I'm going to try to portray this guy, the team's newest recruit, played by Austin Stowell, as more of a fun-loving,
I've heard of Austin
wisecracking
Stowell.
American. That plays off well with our British lead. And I'll introduce him with this line.
Oh, is this the new yank?
Oh,
That's
this
basic
new
for the
yank.
trailer, I think. Oh, and yeah, Derek Jacobi is in this movie. Someone who has no reason to
Derek
be there.
Jacobi's
He's
in
just
this?
Some guy trying
Why?
things out with every now and again. He has nothing to do with the plot. They were probably like, oh, we can get Jacobi? Alright, shove him in the movie. I don't care how, just put him in somehow. We can head down the canal and film something on his lunch break.
Brilliant but lazy.
Well, Borowski here is the most forgettable cookie-cutter dude you can imagine. But a good villain can really elevate a film. And considering that Borowski here kills Superman at the beginning of the movie, yeah, let's try and elevate this guy and make him appear more menacing. And portray Stratton as less of a run-of-the-mill spy movie and more of a revenge flick. As with the success of John Wick, those seem to be kind of in vogue. I like the idea of using this shot of Stratton over his friend's body bag, because we can employ some show don't tell storytelling here, where instead of outright saying the guy is dead, we can show it. Then that sets up Stratton
Yeah,
on his path
I can
of
appreciate a
revenge.
little
But
show
the slight
don't tell
problem about
storytelling.
portraying Stratton as a John Wick style revenge flick is that Stratton himself,
If I get a hint that you're here looking for vengeance for Marty, I'm going to send your ass back to the States.
he doesn't seem to give a shit. Yeah, the character of John Stratton is just
Such a bore.
he is completely stone cold and emotion free, which is professional and what a secret agent should be, I guess, but that doesn't make for a very interesting character. So to give him a semblance of depth, I'm gonna amp up the villain as much as I can. Emphasize all the shit he does. Like, we can use this shot of him beating this guy up. Best we do something to mask the shot.
Was that supposed to be him beating the guy up? Because I could swear I'm hearing knife stabbing sounds there.
A bit though, I mean...
I could be wrong.
Yeah, but if we zoom it in a bit, we can mask the fact that the punches aren't connecting. Let's also intersperse Borowski's dialogue with footage of our heroes looking all defeated looking. We need to draw out some emotion from these actors, but the only real raw emotion I saw from a character in this film is this shot from Gemma Chan. I mean, this is a cool shot for a trailer, but she's not reacting to Borowski here. She's actually reacting to Draco Malfoy topping himself. He just found out his son got sorted in a Hufflepuff, you see.
God. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, that would be a pretty brutal way of offing yourself. Just sticking the gun under your chin and just...
But we can switch it up and make it look like she's reacting to this guy instead. And for those who are saying, isn't that lying? Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm working with crap here, so shut up!
Yeah, plus, trailers are meant to be manipulative and deceptive.
He really doesn't do much.
Anyway.
He's a mole in the film, working for the villain. But his story is wrapped up in mere minutes, and his scenes are...
Mr. Meat and Bean for me. And Veggie thing for you, which I actually think is meat too.
Thanks.
Definitely not worth highlighting.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a minute. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do the rest of the reaction like this, because if I keep sitting in that chair like this, man, my hip is gonna start driving me nuts. I apologize for the lighting in the background, but I really can't keep sitting in that chair. I don't know how my brother sits in this chair. Like, it's freaking hell on my left hip.
And then, for more exposition purposes, we can use dialogue from the M equivalent here, played by Connie Nielsen. But we have to be selective with what we choose here. Because, well, Nielsen is Danish, and she needs to put on a British accent for the film.
Let me guess, she does not do a good job.
I trust you've seen this firestorm.
Questionable to put it lightly.
They were all going to blame us.
They were all going to blame us. Have you seen this firestorm? Did you base your British accent on Margaret fucking Thatcher? Asking what trailer music to use, which is
God, I love that.
Epic and boisterous. Something that can really make the film look more exciting than it is. And I found a great piece used in the trailer for Bridge of Spies.
What's the move when you don't know what the game is? The next mistake our countries make could be the last one.
That is some pretty cool sounding trailer music.
Created by the trailer music production company 12 Titans Music.
Oh.
I actually reached out to them to ask for permission to use their track.
Oh, really?
And shout out to those guys because they were totally cool with it. All they asked was that I link in my description their music licensing platform. So if you ever want to license some of their tracks for your own projects, you can do that. Thanks.
I might actually look into that when I do my own fake trailers.
The Matrix, but check out the genius way it ends.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
I got to admit, that is actually a really cool and effective way of ending a movie trailer, making a out of context line into a bit of a double meaning, like it's being used in a way to tell the audience, you want to know what the Matrix is? Well, go see the movie. That's actually kind of cool.
I love that. Where they've taken that line from Morpheus speaking to Neo about the Matrix, and they've given it a double meaning. You have to see it for yourself. It's like he's speaking to the audience about the movie, The Matrix. And I came across a line of dialogue from Stratton that could essentially do the same thing.
Someone once asked Napoleon about his battle plans. He said, show up and see what happens.
Show up and see what happens.
That's actually a pretty cool ending line for a trailer.
I'm going to end my trailer with this line. Okay, I have a plan. I have a vision. So I'm going to finish this trailer off, do what I can, and pray this works. See you in a few days.
Several days.
I have faith in you, man.
Okay, right. I think we're all done. So, before we have anyone react to it, let's just play my trailer. I think I've done okay, but I'm not proud of the title effects. I'm an editor, not a graphics guy. I need to get better on that front.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm definitely worried about whenever I start doing my own fan-made trailers, is that I do need to learn how to make some good and fitting graphic cards for the title effects in said trailers. Something that I'm sure he probably something I'm absolutely certain is not going to be something that's going to ruin his trailer, but is something that is definitely going to stick out a bit. So anyway, let's go ahead and watch
Regardless,
this thing.
here's my trailer. Have I done a good job? You be the judge.
Mm-hmm. Okay, not a
So
bad
what's the deal with
start.
Stratton?
Reserved, I suppose.
Reserved.
Yeah, as in he's boring.
Marty never described him as reserved.
You knew Marty.
Yeah. He did.
They're waiting for us, Mom.
Uh-huh.
We're attempting to ID this figure.
You seem different. Gave orders.
His name is Gregor Borowski. Responsible for the deaths of 9 MI6 agents.
Okay, this is pretty good so far, I would say.
Satan Snow.
One of the most lethal airborne pathogens, of which we're currently aware. We need to take him down.
Okay, yeah, I do kind of see what he means by his graphics cards.
Stratton, you're my best and brightest.
Oh, this is the new gang.
You go where you think you can do the most good, right?
Come on!
There's a special place in hell for you.
You're in shock, as you should be.
Okay, I'm liking this.
I will have my revenge.
Strat.
Someone once asked Napoleon about his battle plans. He said, show up and see what happens.
Okay, I will say, while the graphic cards did stick out a little bit, I will say that was very well done, and I can imagine how much of a challenge it was making a competent and engaging trailer out of something that, based on what I've seen, not only has some very poorly edited action scenes, but it just doesn't. The movie itself just, I don't know. It just looks like something that wouldn't that looks a little too run of the mill, I guess is the right would be the right term I'm thinking of. The right descriptor. But yeah, for him to be able to make a trailer like that out of what little there was to work with, I gotta tip my hat off to him.
Okay, that was my trailer. Again, I think I did okay, but it's difficult to judge your own work.
Yeah,
So
I
let's get
can
some
agree
eyes
with
on
that.
it. I'm gonna make a video asking for blind reactions, so let's get that up on YouTube, give it a few days, and see how people respond.
1 week later.
Okay, the reactions.
The French narrator.
Look at you all.
Oh my god. They've got faces.
Goddamn Will and Grace.
Okay, let's get to it. First off, I had you guys begin your reactions by watching the trailer. And once it was over, I asked that you guys give your overall impressions on what kind of film you think Stratton is. And remember, nobody here knows anything about the film. None of them know this is a 0% flick yet. So we can genuinely see what effects my trailer has on their perceptions. I think this is an interesting social experiment. So, what's our said perceptions? Well, broadly speaking, decent?
Stratton looks interesting.
I'd say that's probably about what
for
I
the most part.
expected.
Yeah, looks exciting.
You got me curious, I will say that.
The film overall does look fun.
It looks interesting. I definitely want to watch it.
I don't think I was able to.
Hold on, let me go back. Let me see that.
Overall does look fun.
It looks interesting.
She's got Jacksepticeye, Green Eye plushie there in the background. I think that's cute.
I definitely want to watch it.
I don't think I was able to fool anyone into thinking this was a cinematic masterpiece. Most of you guys were saying that the film looked like a generic, albeit serviceable action flick.
Looks like it could be a decent spy action thriller in the same vein as something like maybe Angel Has Fallen.
Oh, and yeah, I suppose a good sign was that a lot of you were comparing Stratton to other similar but far superior films.
Kind of gives me a slightly 007 vibe.
Very Mission Impossible vibes.
Resemblance to Scario, I believe it was called.
Now the action
Sicario. I've heard that film as well, but again, I haven't seen it.
Over, that made me go, wow.
Yeah.
The bit where that bus flipped.
I love those posters that the dude has in his background. Spyro Reignited, Crash Bandicoot 4, Hollow Knight, and Undertale. Yeah, I want those posters so badly.
Made my eyebrows like raise a little bit.
The bus explosion. The bus explosion might have sold me.
And it makes sense, because the action would have been good.
Had it been, yeah, exactly. Had it been well edited. Yeah, like what the hell was that?
It's fun enough, but I've seen it done before.
Basically, there for the action. Not sure about the story, but
I love the that you can see the instruction that he specifically made from in the background there. Does my trailer make you want to watch Stratton? Granted, I'm reacting to this video and not the video he sent to me, because obviously I wasn't subscribed to the Suspect Green channel at the time, and at that point in time I wasn't really doing videos. So obviously I would not have been able to see the trailer on its own, as well as answer the question at the end and all that stuff.
just for the action.
But some of you did pick up on the revenge storyline I conjured up.
It's a mixture between John Wick and James Bond.
Perhaps doing this out of revenge?
Maybe like a revenge story based off of that.
Yeah, that's kind of what he was going for with the way he...
That was a success, because the film is definitely not a revenge.
Yeah, based on what you said,
all in
yeah.
all, the trailer seemed to have intrigued a decent amount of you.
The trailer, I think, looks pretty promising.
It actually looks like a really decent action thriller. I want to know more about what's going on.
It's a pretty well-made trailer. Like, it seems like it really captures this sort of intensity that makes you really want to be like, oh, what's gonna happen next?
But some of you guys were not impressed, mostly pointing out how been there, done that the film feels.
Doesn't really look much like my cup of tea. It looks a bit generic.
Just a regular old bland action movie.
I feel like it seems a little generic.
Yeah. Little did the people know, little did these people in particular know how absolutely right they were about that.
Something just feels a little
off.
Off.
More so than they probably thought.
27, James Bond, 54. You can only get so many of the same thing before being like, okay, I don't want to watch any more of these.
And Minecraft title effects likely didn't help. A few of you guys did point those out.
Graphics kind of look a little out of place.
The coloration there was a little too vibrant.
Looked a little bit stuck.
Yep, I need to get better. Help me, Andrew Kramer.
Well, some of you guys at least seemed on board. Although, maybe the reason for that was because you recognize a lot of the names.
I'm a fan of those actors anyway, like Dominic Cooper and Jim Chan.
I think I saw Tyler Hoechlin, who's the CW Superman.
I did like seeing Derek Jacobi. He's probably the only one who I recognise from this.
Oh, Dominic Cooper. Okay.
In fact,
Yeah.
loads of you pointed out Tom Felton, which is weird because I literally used one shot of him in the trailer.
Yeah, I noticed that. How did many of them notice Tom Felton in there, even though the clip that he used of his character was one clip, and I think it wasn't even really a second long. If it was just barely. How did you all manage to notice that?
Felton in there.
No, Draco Malfoy.
I think I saw Tom Felton in there.
Yeah.
Malfoy. Did I see Draco Malfoy at some point in the trailer, somewhere in the middle?
You people are a lot more observant than I am.
Have a career after Potter, because people apparently want to see more Draco.
Okay, so that aside, I then had you guys answer this question.
Based on this trailer, would you check out the movie?
Yeah, I
And
noticed that
reactions were,
instruction.
again, mixed.
A few were like, nah.
Personally, based on the plot that the film kind of gave to me, personally, no.
A few more were like, yeah.
I would watch this movie based on this trailer. I would go to the theater to watch this.
If I saw this, I would probably at least have the interest in wanting to see it.
It's well edited, well made, well crafted, and honestly, yeah, I'd be happy to see the movie.
Huh. Man, what I wouldn't give to be able to film videos outside during a nice pleasant day.
But most people were displaying caution. They were saying yes, but quite tentatively.
It seemed like a nice movie to put on, when you have nothing to do. I can't guarantee I'd watch it, on release. I'd probably put it on the list of things to check out.
I would watch Stratton, to be honest, right? If I'm sitting there on board on a Sunday, then yeah, I'd probably watch Stratton.
And a conclusion a lot of you guys seem to have, actually,
Was that a theater trip wouldn't interest you, but streaming might.
Which to be honest, I do think is a very complicated and nuanced topic in of itself, because like, and it's one that has more often than not led to many big studios just having little faith that their movies would do well in theaters, so they just put them on streaming. Such was the case that happened with K-pop Demon Hunters even. Like, yeah, Sony did allow the team to do what they wanted, but unfortunately they did not have very good faith that that film would do well in theaters initially, so they just put it on Netflix. Thankfully, they did release it in theaters for a limited time, including the sing-along version. I think the sing-along version was the only one that was actually shown in theaters. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, it's one of the unfortunate give and takes of this current streaming world, that far too often companies just are too scared to release their films in theaters. And sadly, as we have seen in recent years, that's not without reason. Though, granted, a part of that could just also be that they're not very good at advertising their movies either. Hell, streaming platforms like Netflix are usually not good at advertising their movies, as is evident with the Fixed trailers, which I have seen Fixed a few times. I actually kind of like it. It's raunchy as hell, and I can guarantee that it's not going to be for everybody, but I enjoyed it well enough. Though K-pop Demon Hunters was definitely the much better movie by Sony.
I don't think I would actually go see it in theaters, like a wait till streaming thing.
If I had the time and it was on streaming, then yes, I think I would watch it.
I would go to Netflix, just casually see it in like the streaming platforms for free and be like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a watch with my dad, and then depending on how the first 15 minutes go, keep going or stop.
Look, this is a 0% movie I'm working with here. So to see reactions like this,
I see this as an absolute win.
All in all, for those who didn't like this kind of film,
I would definitely see that as an absolute win, win on its own.
Dumb action flicks, my trailer seemed to get them on board. On board in economy, but on board.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it was finally time to drop the 0%
Oh.
For every
Oh god, I can just picture the reactions right now, not including the ones we saw early on in the video. I'm more interested to hear what the people who predicted the film being generic as hell, I want to know what their thoughts are on that.
One who reacted, I provided them with a secret link.
Tiny URL, okay. Don't botnet my computer, suspect.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had to mask the link with a URL shortener. I couldn't reveal what it was. Apologies if that made anyone a bit wary. So,
yeah, I would be a little wary myself.
It was through Stratton's Rotten Tomatoes page. My idea was to make the film look as good as I possibly could, then reveal that the film is anything but. Now, it must be said, a decent amount of you guys were not fooled. Some of you saw this bait and switch coming from a mile away.
I feel like this is probably just like...
I love this cat in the background.
The movies like The Room or something.
Damn it, they know too much. However, that was only about a fifth of you. When hit with the 0% number, most of you guys reacted like this.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Jesus Christ, that low.
Yeah, that low, huh?
In fact, when presented with the 0% number, 3 of you had the exact same response.
Holy shit!
This experiment was way more very When presented with the big fat 0, some were just like, eh.
That's what I was picking up. I was like, this is not a movie that I would want to see.
But others were flawed. I mean, this guy was losing.
Yeah. I will be honest. I feel like if I was a part of this, I would probably have a very similar reaction to that.
Some people were like, I knew it.
0%, yeah, that's what I thought.
Whereas others seemed genuinely excited to see the movie, and thus ended up being legitimately disappointed that the film wasn't as good as I initially made it look.
Just because of the trailer, I thought it was going to be really, really good. I kind of wanted to watch it. Shame.
I think I feel kind of bad. But I think the most box was. It didn't make Stratton look amazing, but I at least made it look watchable.
It looked a little run-of-the-mill, but not that run-of-the-mill.
It looks almost decent, not Oscar-worthy in any sort of sense, but not a 0% or in any sort of...
Which is interesting coming from this one, because he was one of the people who was already making the prediction that the film, based on what we saw in that fan-made trailer of his, looked kind of generic. You think he would? You think he would have been one of the ones who was like, "Oh, called it," but no, he's. I guess he's wanting to be a little bit more fair and lenient, which, you know, in most cases I'm okay with that, but in this case, dude, like, you were pretty much right on the money there. The film is generic as hell.
Why?
Based on what I've, based on what I know
I thought
of
it was going to be a competent enough action film, a bit generic but competent. But based off this, the review, holy shit.
You did a good job. I would never have guessed this movie was absolute trash.
Yeah.
I think it was going to be anything amazing or anything like that.
I love how that dude's
Damn,
still holding that Hatsune Miku plushie.
I thought the twist was going to be that this was going to be a complete genre shift. Like, you edited the trailer to seem like a thriller, spy, hardcore, serious movie, where in reality the movie is more of like a comedy spoof.
Oh, trust me. I'm willing to bet that Suspect wishes that that was the case. Because then he would probably at least have a little bit more fun editing it, as well as not have as hard of a time making the trailer that we just saw. Plus, it's funny he should say that, because like even he pointed out early on in the video, he used to do trailers like that made them seem like completely different movies. I have watched that Monsters Inc. one a number of times, and it's really well done. Very intense, though.
I didn't expect the twist to be that the movie's so bad it got a 0. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of you, your spidey senses were going off long before you saw the Rotten
Yeah,
Tomatoes
that's
score.
more or less
And
what
when
I
you did
said.
see it sort of reconfirmed your embedded suspicions.
My thoughts were right. The trailer made it look very exciting, but it probably was just stitching all those clips together to make it seem like it was a better movie than it was.
Yeah, that was more or less the case.
Generic, didn't I?
I did say this movie was pretty generic looking, so I guess that's not too surprising.
It starts with people calling the Stratton guy reserved. Does build intrigue, but I feel like in the film they call him that because he's just bored.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I even made that same joke as I was watching the trailer. Like, oh my god! By the way, I'm sorry if I got a little too loud there. But that part really cracked me up. I really got to be a little bit more careful how I'm talking, because the mic's a bit closer to my face, and on top of that, I'm still trying to properly balance out the mic audio with the desktop audio, so that way you can still hear me as I'm talking while the video is playing. Because I don't want to keep pausing all the time, but there are times like this, for example, where I just wanted to get that out there. Like, I'm glad someone else pointed that out.
Yes, you absolutely nailed it on the head. So this experiment, it's been a tad inconclusive. So let's just run the numbers. As during these reactions, I asked everyone one last question. Did my trailer legitimately fool you? And I specifically asked that they don't sugarcoat their responses, to be brutally honest. And opinions were once again mixed.
I guess.
Like make it look like a movie that you would want to see.
Yes.
No.
About 35 of you answered this question. So let's just break down the numbers. First off, 6 of you were like, no.
I wasn't really fooled.
No, not really.
No, I did not fall for it.
Another 6 of you were kind of in the middle.
I guess so?
Almost.
Yes and no?
But 23 of you said, yeah, it fooled you.
It genuinely did.
I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, I can believe it.
Yes, it fucking did.
This trailer really did indeed fool me.
Flat out yes.
100% fooled me.
It genuinely fooled me.
You had me there.
This trailer did legitimately fool me.
I would say with complete sincerity, that trailer fooled me.
So there we have it. Can you make a good trailer for a bad movie? Kinda.
Yeah.
Depends who you're showing the trailer to. Some of you guys who weren't fooled were suggesting I did all I could with my trailer, and that this task was just impossible.
Yeah, that's more or less what I said.
Stone, and this is a pretty big, pretty dense stone.
But something a few of you you guys did in your reactions, which wasn't an instruction of mine, and I totally should have asked you all to do this. But yeah, some of you decided to check out the official trailer for
Oh,
Stratton
they did?
to compare it to my own. And for
You know, after this video's over, I might actually go ahead and do that really quick. Watch the actual official trailer for Stratton. Sorry about that. I'm a little bit gassy tonight. But yeah, I might actually do that just to see if... I want to believe that at the very least the official trailer was at least somewhat competent, but I'm getting the very strong feeling that the trailer, and I don't mean this in a good way, mind you, that the trailer is a perfect summation of the movie itself, which I hope that's not the case, but like I said, after this video's over, I'm going to go ahead and quickly watch that. I'm not going to film myself reacting to it, but I am going to watch that, and then I'll cut back to here to give my final thoughts in the video, and yeah.
everyone who did that, you were all saying that my trailer was better.
Reacting to the original trailer, you did much better than that, because that made me immediately turn off. You at least made me interested to, like,
Is
look
it?
into it.
Is it really that bad?
It builds a bit more intrigue. There was a lot more showcasing of like other characters and what the potential of their dynamics was going to be.
Yes. Thank you for noticing that, because giving personality to cardboard is tricky.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Mixed results indeed. I feel if I'd done this like 10, 20 years ago, this would have been easier. But now, modern audiences are much more vigilant. We've all now seen hundreds of movie trailers. We know the tricks of the trade. And
Yeah.
many of you guys just outright refuse to let a trailer hype you up.
I don't really judge a film by the trailer.
Yeah, which is a fair point, because I will say this. As good as that fan-made trailer of his was, the sad truth is, that's also very indicative of something that's very true about movies that a lot more people are picking up on more and more as time goes on. In that, not every bad film, or at least films that people generally consider to be wildly bad, has a bad trailer. And sadly, the opposite is also true for good movies. Like, Pixar and DreamWorks, for the most part, also have a long history of having really weak trailers for their movies. And most of their films, especially in the case of Pixar back in the olden days, are really good. But their trailers are rough, man. Like, have you guys seen the early trailers for Toy Story? They are awful. Like, really, really awful. Like, I'm not trying to gas myself up or anything, but there's a chance I probably could, at least theoretically, make a much more interesting trailer in comparison to those. But don't quote me on that. I might actually try that, though.
This trailers can be misleading. I thought the trailer was pretty good, but just because the trailer is good doesn't mean the movie is good.
And you can definitely hype up a piece of shit still, but there are some things you just can't mask.
Yeah.
If you want to get people to see your movie, a good trailer helps, but you know what helps even more? Making the movie good. It's been a really fun challenge.
A freaking men. Like, it's like I said, like, not every good movie have good trailers, but at the end of the day, a lot of films, like Toy Story, for example, ultimately did well, both critically and financially, because guess what? It was a good movie. I know I'm kind of being a smartass there, but I kind of feel like some movie studios kind of are missing the point there. Yeah. So, like I said, by the end there, I'm going to make a cut from here to my final thoughts, but first, I'm going to go react to the official trailer for Stratton, see if it's really as bad as some of the people in this video are saying it is. I have a feeling they're probably right. I apologize for any of the background noise, but I have to keep the window open to keep air regulating in this room, because, oh boy. Anyway, so I'm going to do that, and I'll get back to you guys. Oh boy, I just finished watching that official trailer, and oh boy, yeah. Based on what I know of Stratton, yeah, I would say that trailer is, and again, like I said earlier, not in a good way. It is a perfect it is a perfect representation of what the movie itself is like, based on how Suspect described it. At least his trailer seemed much more competently made in comparison. It felt like it did a better job at trying to build intrigue, whereas the official trailer for Stratton just didn't seem like it gave a shit. Like, it just felt like it didn't want to try that much to build intrigue, which, given that the film itself is already pretty boring to begin with based on its 0% rating, I guess I can't say I blame the people who edited the trailer too much for that, but they could have at least tried a little bit more than that. Like, jeez. But yeah, all in all, this was a very interesting video. As for some of the other stuff he's done, I won't be reacting to those. So, for example, I'm not, as you can see here on the screen, I'm not going to be reacting to the box office bomb video. I'm not going to be reacting to the Lord of the Rings video he did, talking about the past adaptations. And I won't even be doing the one that he did a little while back, talking about Ballistic X versus Sever. I've already seen those, so not really a fair game for this channel. It wouldn't feel authentic if I did. But yeah, all in all, that was very interesting, and it was definitely a very interesting experiment to see how you can take something that's so bad and generic and actually make something that looks intriguing. And I'm glad that a lot of people that reacted to it for the video felt the same way, because I certainly felt the same way. I apologize, my voice is sounding a little hoarse right now, but it's because I'm filming this reaction shortly after I had finished reacting to the first episode of Knights of Guinevere, so my voice is a little bit hoarse right now, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I do look forward to doing more reactions again going forward, and like I said, I do plan on doing AMV, getting back into AMVs as well as with things like video essays, countdowns, maybe reviews, I don't know. And like I said, I want to do some fan-made trailers of my own, because they sound like a lot of fun, albeit very tough to work with. But I guess I'll just have to wait and see. Well, I have to wait and see, because there's a lot that I do want to try and do to make up for my long absence. But like the old saying goes, best to take things one day at a time. So yeah, that's about all the time we got. If you liked the video, go ahead and comment, like, and or subscribe. And if you have any other suggestions, leave some down in the comment section below. And as always, I'm King Gargantuas, and take care.